Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just so everybody knows, I now have a link for you down in the description. That way everyone can have multiple entries if you choose to participate in the giveaway, which is going to be the complete Game of Thrones series on Blu-ray. One of you will win all 6 seasons that have been released so far. Just subscribe to this channel and like this video. And once you are finished watching this video, go and click the link provided in the description and just follow those steps. Thank you and good luck. So now that that's out of the way, let's get things started. And today I want to talk about Arya Stark and a possible storyline she can be given next season while she works her way up the Winterfell. And this video is going to be somewhat of a continuation of my last Arya Stark video, in which I explained how she can be given some of the story that Lady Stoneheart has in the books. So check out the other one too if you'd like. It may give you some extra details and context to her story. But I do realize that not all of you have read the books. And in fact, someone just asked me the other day what Beric's kiss of life meant. So let me go over who exactly Lady Stoneheart is real quick, and why I think Arya Stark is in position to follow some of her story in the show. So all of you should remember the Red Wedding, which is arguably one of Game of Thrones' most popular episodes, where Catelyn Stark, Robb Stark, and his wife and unborn child were set up by Walder Frey, Roose Bolton, and Tywin Lannister to be executed. During the slaughter, Lady Catelyn had her throat slit, which was the very last image we got in that episode. But in the books, the events that followed the Red Wedding went down a little bit differently. In the books, after Lady Catelyn had her throat slit, they then dumped her body into the river, where her body would remain for the next 3 days, until Arya's direwolf Nymeria discovered her body. Nymeria had been running loose and around this area ever since Arya made her run off so she wouldn't be killed, since she had bitten Joffrey. And after Nymeria discovers Lady Catelyn's dead body, the Brotherhood without banners notice and start to approach, and that's when Nymeria runs off again. Beric Dondarrion decides that he's going to exchange his life for hers, so he gives her what is known as the last kiss or the kiss of life. He kisses Lady Catelyn and then he drops dead. And this zombie-like person, who is the artist formerly known as Lady Catelyn, rises, who is now known as Lady Stoneheart in the books. And although Lady Catelyn is now alive, she still looks like a corpse. Her body is mutilated with a wide gap in her throat where it had been slit during the Red Wedding. And it nearly destroyed her ability to speak. Now she has to put her hand over her slit throat in order to be able to say anything, which is still not very clear. But she remembers what happened to her and her family at the Red Wedding, and she is pissed and fueled with vengeance, which is now her sole purpose to continue on with the way that she is and looks. And now that Beric Dondarrion is dead after giving her the kiss of life, Lady Stoneheart takes command of the group of outlaws known as the Brotherhood without banners, and she is ready to blaze a path of death and destruction. Lady Stoneheart and the Brotherhood are now on a mission to execute anyone associated with the Freys, the Lannisters, and the Boltons, especially their family members. And if you thought Catelyn Stark was a bitch before, Lady Stoneheart is even worse. She is brutally unforgiving. They start their vengeance tour by killing a few Freys, and that's when she eventually comes across Brienne of Tarth and Podrick Payne. Jaime Lannister had sent Brienne out to find Sansa, which she tells Lady Catelyn, aka Lady Stoneheart, which was a big mistake. Lady Stoneheart labels Brienne a traitor who is now supporting and working for Jaime Lannister. Brienne is still carrying the sword Oathkeeper, a Valyrian steel sword given to her by Jaime Lannister, which was forged by half of the remains of Ned Stark's sword Ice. Brienne promises that she is still faithful to House Stark, but Lady Stoneheart isn't moved by her words. She wants proof. Lady Stoneheart demands Brienne that she must kill Jaime Lannister in order to prove her loyalty. But Brienne refuses, of course, saying that Jaime Lannister is not the man that everyone thinks he is. It's obvious that Brienne loves Jaime, which is a problem. Can she be trusted when push comes to shove? If Brienne had to choose between saving a Stark or saving Jaime Lannister, she cannot be trusted to save the Stark. And Lady Stoneheart tells Brienne, you either kill Jaime or you will be hanged for treason. And Brienne chooses to refuse still. So now it's obvious that she cannot be trusted, which seals her own fate. Lady Stoneheart hangs Brienne, Hyle, and Podrick. And as they are struggling for air, struggling to survive, Brienne screams out a single word, changing her mind right before her death. So my question is, how much of Lady Stoneheart's story from the books will Arya get? We all hoped and wished that the show would introduce the character Lady Stoneheart, but it looks like the time to introduce her character has came and went. But it's not too late to take pieces of her story from the books and give it to another Stark, which it seems like they have already been doing with Arya, in my opinion. And this wouldn't be new for the show. They have taken many stories from the books and gave them to different characters. And who better to pick up Lady Stoneheart's story than Arya Stark, who is already on a vengeance tour of her own, killing every Frey she comes in contact with, which is absolutely beautiful, in a dark and twisted sort of way. But it is justice, and justice is beautiful, especially for the Starks, who have been seemingly double-crossed by everyone. And if you consider where Arya's story left off, I think there is a very good chance we can see her go down this road for a few episodes. Arya is already near the Brotherhood without banners, and Brienne and Podrick are headed back north themselves, so you never know what we might just get next season. And after what Arya just saw, she's going to want to murder any Lannister or Lannister supporter she can get her hands on.
To the last. And when we drive our swords through our enemies' hearts, may we speak the words of our alliance. The Freys and the Lannisters send their regards.
Arya just saw Jaime Lannister and Walder Frey toasting with each other, celebrating the fact that they just took over her mother Catelyn Stark's ancestral home and killed her uncle the Blackfish. Arya knows for a fact that the Lannisters are in bed with the Freys. She just saw it for herself and even gave Jaime a suspicious look. And later that night she slit Walder Frey's throat for conspiracy and murder against her family, and she's bloodthirsty for more. Jaime wasn't on her list, but you bet your ass he is now. And who is the one person that swore fealty for a Stark but continues to have a friendly relationship with the enemy?
I'm not paid by the Lannisters.
No. Fancy sword you got there. Where'd you get it? I've been looking at Lannister gold all my life. Go on, Brienne of fucking Tarth. Tell me that's not Lannister gold.
Jaime Lannister gave me this sword.
The Bloody Gate's 10 miles.
I swore to your mother by the old gods.
I don't
and the
care
new.
what you say.
Brienne is carrying around that fucking Lannister gold, given to her by Jaime Lannister, a sworn enemy of the Starks. Arya knows the Lannisters had her father killed. She saw Cersei standing next to Joffrey and her father, smiling as his head was about to be taken off. Arya knows Tywin Lannister was at war with her brother Robb Stark, which he ultimately set up at the Red Wedding and had executed. How is Arya going to react when she runs into Brienne again and she is still carrying around that fucking Lannister sword? Will she ever be able to trust her? She was sworn to protect her mother and she failed.
You're Arya Stark.
I asked if you wanted something.
I swore to your mother I would bring you home to her.
My mother's dead.
I know. I wish I could have been there to protect her.
You're not a northerner.
No, but I swore a sacred vow to protect her.
Why didn't you?
Now that Arya will be heading home after she cleans house at the Freys, there is a very good chance she runs into the Brotherhood without banners again, who are now with the Hound. If Arya gets to with the Hound and the Brotherhood, and they run into Brienne and Podrick, I can see trouble on the horizon. The Hound already tried to kill her once. What's Brienne gonna say? She helped Sansa? Arya doesn't even like Sansa. That won't be enough to prove that she isn't working for the Lannisters. And Arya might give her the same ultimatum her mother gave her in the books. You go kill Jaime Lannister, or I'll hang you and that bitch Podrick. And your honor will be forgotten, and you'll forever be known as a traitor to the Starks. That would make for a very tough decision for Brienne.
Honor compels me to fight for Sansa's kin.
Of course it does.
To fight you.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I think if the show went this route, it would be amazing. Brienne being forced to kill Jaime, what a plot twist. There hasn't been much of any information about Brienne this offseason, so I think her story next season can go in a number of directions. And I would be happy as hell if they did this. And Arya is definitely crazy enough and loves her family enough to make sure Brienne gets this done.
Bit of a quandary for you. If you kill me, you fail Lady Stark. But if you don't kill me, I'm going to kill you. You good. Graceless, but good.
Comment below and tell me what you think about this. Personally, I think this would be amazing, and I haven't heard anyone else discuss this as a possibility yet in the show, so I'm curious as to what you guys think, so let's talk about this. But before I go, if you guys have time, go and check out Sir Hunt's Reviews channel. He has a ton of Game of Thrones content on his channel, and me and him have been discussing some things lately, and we plan on doing a stream together too, so if you aren't familiar with him, go check out his channel and say what's up. Also, don't forget to check out the link below so you can enter the giveaway. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the comment section. Bye.